tinuruan mo magsalita, yan, sinasagot-sagot na ako. Yung mga ganun. Walang kapalit. Yun, like what I said earlier. Yung satisfaction of hearing from the parents na thank you, the heartfelt thank you. Ayun, kasi natulungan ko yung kid nila na makasalita. Ayun. And where they are right now.
So, and you're touching people's lives, Miss Rory.
Yeah, with one speech or one word at a time. Ako talaga, parang gusto ko sabayan kasi naiyak din ako.
Masyado mabigat.
Mabigat, oo. Kasi, tayo dito, I was not trained for that. Ayun. Kaya sabi ko, dapat pala, meron din akong counseling. When you prioritize something, there are times that you will be able to not really neglect. Ayun. Pero
takes the backseat.
Yeah. This part takes the backseat because you have to prioritize this. Ayun. But that doesn't mean you don't prioritize your family.
But welcome to another day ng kayod sa lahat ng puyat at sa lahat ng mahaba ang tulog at sa lahat ng sakto lang ang tulog. Welcome sa isa na namang araw ng kayod. At very special ang ating episode for today dahil ang profession na pag-uusapan natin ay isang profession na uncommon o madaming Pilipino ang hindi alam ang profession na to. And that is speech language pathology. Tama po ba, Miss Rory?
Tama.
Ayan. At kasama natin si Miss Rory para pag-usapan kung ano yung speech language pathology at anong ginagawa ng isang speech language pathologist. How are you, Miss Rory? Kamusta?
Okay naman. And thank you for having me here.
Thank you po. Grabe ang bongga na, Miss Rory. Nakita niyo ba ang get-up na to? Parang, okay po, magiging formal na ako. Ganun, mga ganun level. But thank you so much for being here, Miss Rory, for taking the time na pinuunlakan mo yung invitation namin. How are you today?
Kinakabahan. This is my first time to do this. Hindi ko alam na may
camera.
Ganito.
Pag-usapan natin, Miss Rory, paano kayo nag-start sa journey nyo bilang speech language pathologist? Growing up, paano pumasok sa utak nyo yung idea na pwede ako maging SLP?
Isang influence sa akin yung kuya ko. Yung we're 6 in the family. I mean, 6 children in the family. Yung pang-apat, yung kuya ko may Down syndrome. So growing up, ayun, pansin ko, limited lang talaga yung nasasabi niya. Tapos, tayo dito. So parang nagtaka ako. Sabi ko, ba't ganun? Yung kuya ko. So may mga kapitbahay kami na nagsabi, sira ulo yung kuya mo. Ganun. So ko, hindi pero alam, kasi kung sira ulo siya, diba? Yung iba, negative na yung behaviors niya. Yes. Pero sa amin hindi. Ayun. So sabi ko, my kuya is different, pero not bad different. Ganun. Kaya sabi ko, when I grow up, ayun, I want to help my kuya.
You didn't really come from a well-off family. And itong speech language pathology, it's nasa medical field siya eh. So parang sa Pilipinas kasi may thinking tayo na kapag sa medical field, ay mahal yan. Mahal magpaaral dyan. At that time po ba, may ganun kayong pag-aalangan na pumasok sa field na yon?
Hindi. Kasi sa UP, yun.
Ay, ano na po ba yun?
Mas mura pa rin. Hindi, at that time, UP, nung bata ako, gusto ko lang UP or wala.
UP or nothing.
Oo. Ewan ko ba?
Whether 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, nandito po kayo sa field na to. So pag-usapan po natin yung field ng speech language pathology. Ano po bang ginagawa sa speech language pathology? Ano ba siya? At paano siya naiiba dun sa ibang medical professionals?
Alright. So, kami yung special na species, parang species, We're the specialists who diagnose, identify, and help people with communication disorders.
Okay.
So, ito po ay, dito, pinag-aralan namin ng 4 years, yung speech pathology, dahil ito ay science. Hindi lang to isang module. Ayun, aaralin mo ng 6 to 8 months. Ayun. So, ito ay, malaki ang sakop ng speech language pathology. Meron sa pediatric, when I say pediatric, sa mga bata na language, may adult language. Yun, kasi may mga problems doon.
Like what, Mr. Rory?
For example, pag pediatric language, tag dito, yung mga bata born with eto, yung mga conditions, certain, like my brother, he has Down syndrome. Ayun. Children born with cleft lip and palate. Ayun, may mga, ano yun, ano sa Tagalog nun? Bingot.
Yung dito.
Yeah. So, isa rin yun. Tapos in other conditions that will affect the growth or development of speech and language communication skills. Ayun. So, pagdating naman sa adult, tayo dito, andyan naman papasok yung mga na-stroke. Ayun. Nagkakaroon syempre din ng swallowing problems.
Kasama doon.
Correct. Ayun.
Paano naman siya nagkakaiba sa ibang therapist na...
For example, OT. Yan, occupational therapist. Because we work with them. Alright?
Okay.
And we also work with physical therapists. Yun.
Okay.
So, for occupational therapists, they give or they provide activities that would develop also yung normal functions or kung ano yung kayang functional or i-optimize yung skills ng bata. So
skills in terms of
doing daily living activities.
Okay.
Yeah, for example, at saka ganun din naman sa physical therapy. Physical therapy, they are more into, they specialize in helping the child develop this gross motor skills.
Motor skills.
Yeah, gross motor skills. For example, halimbawa, a child with cerebral palsy. A child born with cerebral palsy, hirap yan to control body. Ayon. So, the physical therapist will help in the positioning of the body. The occupational therapist will help the physical therapist or the child to grasp small objects. Ayun. Para halimbawa, makatransfer siya ng let's say, mga balls, mga ganun. So, mga ganung activities. O kaya, si occupational therapist will help grasping the spoon and put the spoon near the mouth. Ayun. Now, the speech language pathologist will help the kid swallow the food. Yeah. So, ganun yung, namin, iba-ibang roles namin.
Grabe. Sa isang act na ganun, ang dami nagtutulong-tulong para mangyari siya.
Yeah. Meron din naman, ganun yan, sa medically complex child ng isang, cerebral palsy kid. So, sa isang kid naman with learning disability or eto yung mga hyperactive kids.
Okay.
So, ang role na, sometimes they don't need, most of the time, they don't need physical therapists. Yeah. They just have to manage yung sensory issues nila. Ayun. At saka yung pagiging malikot nila. Ayun. So, occupational therapist ang nag-a-address nun. So, para pumirme siya, yun.
Occupational therapist.
Yes. So, ngayon, ang work naman ng speech therapist or speech language pathologist sa isang malikot na bata is, lalo na kapag nakaupo na, meron ng focus, is to teach the child how to communicate, learn new concepts, also learn how to say words. Ayun, kaysa iiyak siya, mamamalo, o kaya grab things. We force them to, we teach them to how to use words.
Paano kayo napunta dun sa field na sa kids kayo nagfo-focus, Miss Rory? May time ba na sinubukan nyo sa adults muna, ganun?
Oh, yeah. Before ako nag-graduate, while waiting for graduation, may ni-refer na sa aking adult patient.
Di pa gumagraduate?
Di
ka pa gumagraduate?
I've completed na.
Okay.
Waiting for graduation now. Yung barkada ko, speech language pathologist also, she's preparing, nagde-load na siya. I mean, nag-endorse na siya ng mga patient loads. Yun niya. So, what happened was, she referred the patient to me. Ayun, gusto ko lang sabay ng iyak.
Bakit? Anong?
Kasi, usually kasi pag stroke patient, lalo na yung mga the one who has lost their faculty of speech. Ayun. Tapos, and somehow intact, okay pa rin yung comprehension nila, yung cognition nila. Tapos di lang sila makasalita. It's depressing for them. Ayun. So, during therapy, makita mo, nangingilid yung luha. Kaya tutulo na talaga yung luha. Yun. Ako talaga, parang, gusto ko sabayan kasi naiyak din ako.
Masyado mabigat.
Mabigat, oo. Kasi, tayo dito, I was not trained for that. Ayun. Kaya sabi ko, dapat pala, meron din akong counseling. Ayun. I took up counseling din.
Till now, Miss Rory ha, medyo parang uncommon pa rin ang speech language pathology. Kasi nung narinig ko na yung guest natin today ay speech language pathologist, ang dami kong hindi alam. Mas marami akong question mark kaysa dun sa alam ko, dun sa field na to. Bakit sobrang uncommon ng speech language pathology sa Pilipinas? Bakit ang konti?
Kasi konti lang yung school. 4 lang yung schools na nag-offer. For a time, it was only UP mula nung 1978, si UP. Ayun. Until kailan lang naghumabol si UST. Dekada na, 2000 na. Ayun. So, ganun.
Panganak na ako.
Diba? Ayun. So, kaya very, very few would,
It's a very young profession.
It's a young profession right now. 2019 lang na-regulate yung practice namin. Ayun. So, before that, we were, we should be a member of the organization, Philippine Association of Speech Language Pathologists. We do self-regulation.
Di ako makagit over dun sa liit ng ratio. 1,011 is to 200,000? Grabe. Ang daming 0.000 nun. Kailangan natin ng mas marami pang
di ba magaling ka sa math? Sige.
Mamaya po, kailangan ko po ng calculator. Pero naalala ko, Miss Rory, sa Bohol, wala kaming ganyang...
Exactly.
Wala kaming ganyang thought na speech language pathologist. I remember, nung pandemic, sorry, ginalaw ko na naman yung mic. Pero nung pandemic, nag-stroke yung tatay ko.
Oh, sorry.
Tapos, ang huling nag-recover sa kanya is the speech. Pero at that time, di namin alam na pwede palang mag-hire ng speech language pathologist para tulungan siya.
Kasi wala sa Bohol.
Kasi may thought din po, Miss Rory, na yung mga ganyang bagay, mag-heal yan over time. Kaya yan ng dasal, kaya yan ng time, kaya yan ng gamot. Walang thought na may makakatulong pala sa'yo. At tingin ko madaming tao sa mga probinsya, kahit nga siguro sa Metro Manila, ay ganun din yung thinking. Sayang
talaga. Kaya, isa sa thrust ng namin, ng organization namin is access to the services. So, we're putting up, we have this program called Voluntherapy. So, we're partnering with NGOs, mga foundation, who are also, whose mission is also reaching out to patients with this, families with disabilities. Yun.
And Miss Rory, what would you say to someone? For example, STEM student. Ano yung share mo to students para mahikayat sila to give a second thought, a second look at the speech language pathology field? Ano yung pinaka gusto mong part about the job, most fulfilling?
For me, kapag sinabi ng parent na na teacher, halimbawa, yung name na lang Doreen,
Sige po.
Says, teacher, si Doreen, siya yung best storyteller sa class nila. That, tagos talaga yun. Kasi, I first met the kid. Naiyak ako.
Naiyak din ako, Miss Rory.
Dito. I would meet the kid na parang konti lang yung nasasabi nila, ganun. Pero, after a year of enrolling in the program, speech language therapy, ngayon with me, tapos after 1 year, sasabihin ng nanay sa akin, thank you, Teacher Rory. Doreen is now the best storyteller in class. Ayun, sobra. Oo.
Nakakataba ng puso.
Oo, talaga. Ayun. At hindi lang isang beses yung sinabi sa akin. Kasi, ibang kids talaga na minsan mamimit ko, what's this? Ayun. Tapos, ang kaya lang niya sabihin, yung mga phonetics lang ba, the first letters of the of whatever I'm trying to asking him to identify. For fish, for truck, for car. Ayun. Pero after like a year or 2 years, sasabihin ng mommy, thank you, Teacher Rory, kasi he's now, ayun, the best storyteller in class. Ayun. So, ganun. Minsan, I remember this, mommy, sabi niya sa akin, may clinic kami before in Fairview, sabi niya, Teacher Rory, dati, hindi nagsasalita to. The kid was 2 years old. He had Soto syndrome. Ayun. Yun. So, Soto syndrome, mabilis lumaki, tumangkad, pero mabagal yung pag-develop ng ibang, ng ibang areas of development niya, lalo na sa speech. So, naiwan yung speech niya. So, doon ako pumasok sa buhay ng kid. And then, for many years until mag-kinder na siya. So, ngayon, nagrarason-rason na. Sumasagot na sa nanay niya. Sasabihin sa akin ng mami niya, nako, Teacher Rory, dati hindi yan makasalita. Ngayon, tinuruan mo magsalita. Yan, sinasagot-sagot na ako. Yung mga ganun. Walang kapalit. Yun, like what I said earlier. Yung satisfaction of hearing from the parents na, thank you, the heartfelt thank you. Ayun, kasi natulungan ko yung kid nila na makasalita. Ayun. And where they are right now.
So, and you're touching people's lives, Miss Rory.
Yeah, with one speech or one word at a time.
Touching lives one word at a time. It's a beautiful field.
Yeah.
Pero, Miss Rory, of course, hindi siya rainbows and unicorns. Madaming struggles in being a speech language pathologist. May mga kwento ka ba dyan na struggles maliban dun sa nasampal ka ng student, mga bagay? Ano yung mga struggles para ma-manage din yung expectation nila?
I want to go back to that student. Kasi that was the time na nag-work ako sa Indonesia, sa Jakarta. It's their Australian family. So the kid, I think she was around 4 or 5 years old. Tapos sobrang very limited yung kanyang speech, yung verbal output niya. Lahat baba, mama. Ayun. Sakto, ang name sa Indonesia, mga names nila Baba. Yung driver nila, Baba. Ayun. So, si Baba, ayun. Si Baba. Pero, ang galing ng nanay kasi kahit sinabi ng kid niya, Baba, ewan ko kung paano yung naiintindihan ako nga, speech language therapist, di ko naiintindihan
yan. Siguro kasi nanay.
Exactly. Ayun. So, sobrang ang taas din ng yung frustration ng kid. Halimbawa, may pinapagawa ako, ma-frustrate siya, ayun, lipad yung hikaw ko. Ayun, ganun. Tapos, dito, dun, challenge ko yung sarili ko. Sabi ko, nag-aral ulit ako. There's this technique na may seminar nun dito sa Manila at the time. So, I had to fly in from Jakarta to Manila to attend that 1-week training.
Dedication.
And it cost me dollars. Ayun, because the training, ang trainer namin, puti foreigner. Ayun. So, and I took my level 1, level 2 pa yan. So, pero, when I did that training and I applied it dun sa kid na yon, that Australian girl, naka-develop kami ng words. And then, 2-word sentences. Ayun. Talagang yung nanay, may mga yak-yak din siya. Pero ayun na nga, umalis na kasi ako noon kasi ayun, I did not renew my contract.
Right.
Ayun, tapos umuwi na ako ng Pinas.
Grabe yung dedication niyo.
Yeah. Kasi if you want to be a skilled professional talaga, not just for the money, alam mo yun. Pero if you really want na makatulong sa patients, ayun, you would do further studies and continuous learning. Ayun, attend ka ng seminar or ng further training para ma-level up mo yung skill mo. Alam forever kang mula nung pagka-graduate mo, hindi ka na-attend ng mga seminars. Kaya nga, di ba, may continuing ed, diba? Continuing education. Or in PRC, we call it a continuing professional development program. Kasi we do that. In the field of science, marami na di-discover lagi. Like in sports, diba?
So, kailangan i-update mo nang i-update yung kaalaman mo.
Correct. Mahirap lang din, for example, yung alam mong, yun, dito sa Philippines, alam mo merong isang equipment na sana meron tayo dito pero wala. Yung mga ganon.
May frustration.
Oh, yeah. Oo. Yeah. Kasi I would say that because I work as a volunteer for Operation Smile. Ngayon, Operation Smile Philippines. And I've been a volunteer since nung dalaga pa ako. Ayun. So, minsan, may mga equipment na wala dito. So, gano'n na lang talaga. Parang, yun.
You make do with what you have.
Yes, exactly.
Sabi mo na, yung skills, yung knowledge, pwede siyang aralin. Pwede siyang pwede kang umattend ng conference, ng seminar. Pero feel ko yung pasensya. Yung understanding. Feel ko mas mahirap yung matrain. Paano nyo nagawa yan? Is it something, may ginawa po ba kayo na kapag medyo paubos na yung pasensya nyo, saan nyo hinuhugot? Siyempre, as a speech language pathologist, parang you always come from a place of understanding.
Yes, totoo yun.
How do you do that?
May pasensya biscuit.
Pasensya biscuit? Saan po ba nakakabili ng pasensya biscuit nang makapag-store kami sa bahay?
With a lot of prayer, meditation. Ayan. Kasi tayo dito, you have to be composed. Ayun. So, sa practice kasi namin, Larna, most of speech language pathologists are into this kind of consultancy setup. So, every patient, every hour. Ayun. So, imagining every patient, every hour, iba-ibang personalities yan. Kahit sabihin mong bata yan. So, I have to adjust myself. Ayun. Para dun sa kid kung paano ko siya i-handle.
Paano i-approach?
Paano ko i-approach.
Okay. Patience. Pero natitrain naman yan, Miss Rory, di ba? Yung pasensya.
In time. Oo. Kaya, when I was in my undergrad, we had 1 year of internship. Pero after graduating from school, doesn't really, it's difficult to develop that, clinical attitude. Yung clinical eye din na sinasabi.
Pag nasa field ka na mismo.
Oo. Pero in time, you'll be able to develop that.
What other struggles did you have besides the running out of patience or keeping that patience?
Yeah. During my time, well, when I was a younger clinician, yung trainings,
okay,
for further, yung after graduation, they're not that plenty. Yeah. So, karamihan, like, sa batchmate ko, ilan na lang sa amin natira dito. Yung iba nasa abroad. Kasi they took further studies there. Yun. But eventually, ayun, set up na rin ang UP ng masteral program.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Progress. Baby steps.
Yeah. Baby steps. Ayun. So, that's what we're working on. Now that I'm in the PASP right now, in the association. So, this is what we're giving to our members, mga continuing education program. So, yun, mga webinars, seminars, training. So, arrange that for them. Kasi, ang lawak eh. Ang dami talagang things na pwedeng aralin. Ayun. Or yung
Lalo
iba.
na it's ever evolving.
Yes. Yeah. Human nature. I mean, through the years, no? Dito, yung skills mo, ayun. Minsan yung iba dyan na inaral mo na before, baka mamaya kailangan mong i-update o kaya nakalimutan mo. Kaya
need to
dapat,
relearn. Relearn.
Yeah, exactly.
Pero madaming opportunities, Miss Rory, ibig sabihin. Kasi nandito yung mga seminars, yung conferences, and madami yung pangangailangan at nangangailangan kumpara dun sa magpo-provide nun. Can we talk numbers, Miss Rory? Meron ba tayong range per day o kaya per session, ganon? Can we talk about that?
I'll talk about the fees.
Okay.
Yun. The fees of, not the PF ha.
Ano po yung
the professional fee that a patient pays the clinician. This is center-based.
Okay.
Yun. So, here in Metro Manila, one session of speech therapy is at least 1,000 pesos.
Okay, one session.
Yeah. And there is a percentage sharing between the clinic owner and the clinician. So, for example, there are some centers that would have a 70-30 sharing. So 70% goes to the clinician, and then 30% goes to the clinic for obvious utilities and others. Yun. So you get, sabihin na natin, you get 700
700
in
per
an
session.
hour.
Oh, wow.
Yung iba 700 whole day mo na yun. Kaya kung masipag ka, you can earn sobra-sobra. Diba? Ayun.
1 hour, 700. Grabe.
Pero, yun na nga, kung pedya yung practice mo, ayun, at bumagyo, like last week,
Yeah.
ewan ko na lang kung may jet ski ka para pumunta dun sa bahay ng patient o dun sa clinic nyo, diba? So, ayun lang yung downside nun.
Pero may naisip ako, Miss Rory, kasi from the side ng speech-language pathologists, okay yung kitaan.
Yeah.
Pero sa side ng mga nangangailangan, parang medyo mahal.
Mahal talaga.
Meron po bang ginagawang ways for access sa mga SLP na maging mas affordable or accessible siya? May mga ganong programa ba na ginagawa?
Meron. Actually, ito mga schools na to, they have interns which they distribute in the rotation centers, we call them. Ayun. So, if and they're being supervised by registered SOPs. So, if a patient, an indigent patient who needs speech therapy services can go to these rotation centers, ayun, they just have to know where they are. Yun, para maka-avail sila. And there are other centers also, like for example in Quezon City, there's my therapy center dyan, they accept, ayun, they, if I'm not mistaken, free. Ayun. Kung hindi man free, kung may charge man, minimal. Siguro bayad kuryente. Ayun. So, meron naman.
Progress.
Yun. Progress. Yes.
Oo. Hopefully, in the future din, mas marami pang programa na maibigay at masimulan para mas gawing affordable and accessible.
Yeah. Like yung ginagawa namin, I told earlier that I've been a volunteer speech pathologist for Operation Smile. So, Operation Smile, they cater to patients with cleft lip and palate. So, recently they just did a mission in Dasmariñas, Cavite. Yun, dun sa paggamutan ng dasma. Ayun. So, last year, nag-volunteer ako doon. Tayo dito. So, may mga ganong program. And for example, in Santa Ana, Manila, there is Manila Cleft Center there. Ayun. So, meron doon. Pwede sila after the surgery, maybe 2 months after, pag healed na, walang complications, pwede na sila mag-speech therapy. Yun, there's a speech therapy services there. Ayun. Tapos, sa Cebu din, meron. Kaya lang, tinatayo pa lang yata. Sa Davao, there's a Davao Cleft Center also, wherein patients with cleft lip and palate can avail of free speech therapy services. Ayan.
Ms. Sarah, we talked about the fulfillment, we talked about yung financial aspect. Another thing I have to ask is the work-life balance. Kasi 'di ba, medyo ilag yata ang work-life balance, or at least ganun yung thinking ng mga Pilipino na ilag yung work-life balance kung medical professional ka. Halos wala kang time para sa sarili mo, wala kang time para sa mga mahal mo sa buhay. Gaano katotoo yun sa pagiging isang speech-language pathologist?
Yung work-life balance for a speech path, at least hindi ka tatawagan ng 10 oras ng gabi dahil sa pasyente.
Walang ganun.
Wala naman. Kasi, 8 to 5 yung clients mo. Kung gusto mo, hanggang 6 p.m., okay lang. Ayun. Pero may kilala ko na dahil she's working with adult patients at minsan nag-hospital visit siya kasi naka-confine sa hospital yung patient. So, minsan 10 o'clock ng gabi. Ayun. Pinupuntahan niya sa hospital yung client. Ayun. Pero it's not naman like that for most speech language pathologists, no? So, okay pa din naman na 8 to 5 yung work or 8 to 6, Monday to Saturday. Still, ano pa rin, you'll be able to have quality time with the family. You can still go on vacations. Ayun. Lalo na yung mga younger ones ngayon.
Siyempre po, kailangan po ng work-life balance. So, hindi lang kayod ng kayod, kundi para sa sarili din. Siyempre, kasi you can't pour from an empty cup.
Oh, yeah. You have to refill your love tank. Ayan.
So, you have more love to give. Ganon.
Yeah, because in a work of a speech language pathologist, you share a part of yourself to each student or each patient that you deal with. Ayun. Kaya it's tiring. Ayun. So that is why you need to have a me time. I love to travel. Ayun. Kaya kaya siguro naging traveling therapist din ako before. Kasi tayo dito, ayun na lang din yung naging outlet ko. Ayun, 'di ba? So, makatravel ako, di at least kumita pa ako. Ayun.
So, kailangan filled yung love tank.
Yeah. Oo.
Ang daming learnings from this conversation.
Yeah.
Pero Ms. Rory, what would be your message sa mga aspiring na SLP professionals na nabanggit mo na hindi madali yung journey? Daming sacrifices, daming effort, time, dedication na kailangan mong i-google para makatulong ka sa tao. What would be your advice to them?
One is that know what you want to do. Ayun. Not just for aspiring speech language pathologist, pero do the right thing. Ayun. Do the right thing. Halimbawa, yun. This is a service-oriented profession. Yeah, career. So, mas mataas talaga yung burnout. Ayun. Kasi nga, service Ayun. Pero, take some time off as well. Ayun. To do other stuff. Yeah. Kung gusto mo, get into sports. Ayun, diba?
Good outlet.
Yeah. So, and actually, I don't believe in work-life balance. You cannot really balance that. Ayun.
Why is that, Rory?
You can prioritize things. Yeah. When you prioritize something, there are times that you will be able to not really neglect. Ayun. Pero,
takes the backseat.
Yeah. This part takes the backseat because you have to prioritize this. Ayun. But that doesn't mean you don't prioritize your family. Diba? So, time management. Ayun. Kasi pag-balance, feeling ko boring pag-balance.
So, medyo ganun, Ms. Rory.
Oo, ganun tayo. Ayun. So, and I think it's more alive. Ayun. Tapos if you're aspiring to become an adult speech clinician, kung wala kang pasensya sa bata, yun, dun ka sa track na yun. Pero if you know that you can handle kids, ayun, have and be more creative with kids, yun. If you love to watch also animation, kasi you have to be in their world to understand. Ayun. Para tayo dito, para makasabay ka sa kwento nila. Ayun.
Kailangan mag-immerse ka din.
Correct. Ayun. Kung sa adult naman, you have to understand ano yung background niya before. Ayun.
Kasi paano ka nga naman tutulong kung di mo alam kung saan sila nanggagaling.
Correct. Ayun. So you have to be a people person as well. Ayun. And most especially, do not forget your ethics. Ayun. Ethics because dito, for example, yun, as a clinician and, I have a patient, I have a client, dapat pa rin, nandun pa rin yung, ibibigay mo yung dapat na service na kailangan niya. Hindi mo i-short change. For example, i-group mo yung, para kasi, ma-accommodate ko silang lahat. Halimbawa, 5 estudyante, i-group ko na lang sila kahit magkakaiba yung levels nila. No. You cannot do that. I'd rather have them, either i-refer out sila to another clinic if they cannot wait, or put them on wait list. Or, the most that I can do is put them in a dyad session. Kung kaya na ng skills nila na magkaroon ng dyad session. But to group them together na magkakaiba yung skills nila, it's a no-no for me. Ayun. So, this is, I might say it's a lucrative profession. Pero it's not just about the money. It's more of the service. Ayun ang huwag kakalimutan. Yun. Kasi parang hindi ka nagiging professional when you think of just the money. Ayun.
Especially in this service-oriented career.
Correct.
Kailangan kasama ang puso sa paglilingkod. Hindi lang ang utak para sa pera. Kasama ang puso. Because that's how you connect with people. Ang ganda. Thank you so much, Miss Rory. Napakadami naming natututunan. And that's the dream. For more people, mas dumami pa ang speech language pathology sa bansa. Dahil ang daming matututunan, ang daming matutulungan, ang daming pangangailangan.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything you want to say, Miss Rory, before we end?
Well, thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Miss Rory. Napaka-fresh. Napakaganda po ng dress niyo today. Matching pa with the lipstick.
Thank you for my sponsor, yung husband ko.
Hello po sa husband na Miss Rory. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Rory.
Thank you so much to SBK. Ayun, sa bayan ko, ito ang kayod ngayon.
Ang ganda no. Thank you.